Hey out there folks, it's Dave from davestation VR, and we are back with another review, this time talking about Time Carnage for PSVR.
Jump complete.
So in this game you're some kind of futuristic sci-fi time jumper where you gotta go around and shoot all kinds of stuff. You might be going back in time to shoot zombies, dinosaurs, weird robots, or some kind of skull monsters from medieval times. So there's 4 different kind of worlds to play through, and they each have their own enemy types. Right off the bat, I should say the tracking was great. The whole time that I played, it worked impeccably. I didn't have any issues as far as that was concerned. And the graphics were decent. The enemies actually respond when you shoot them a little bit, which is more than you can say about a lot of wave shooters. And some of the locations are pretty interesting, but they can be kind of dark and a little bit blurry, especially when stuff's far away. Now, initially when you play through the game, you're going to have to go through the campaign stages to unlock anything, and the way those work is a little bit frustrating. Even though you're going to be jumping through time to all these different eras, you have to play all 4 zombie stages before you can get to the dinosaur stage, and you got to play all 4 dinosaur stages before you get to the robot stage. And it's kind of all locked behind grinding and progression. And at a certain point, it does really feel like a grind, because the gameplay each round ends up taking quite a long time. There's 10 waves in each round, and after like the 5th or 6th wave, you're just like, okay, come on. Like, really? It has some of the pacing issues that a lot of wave shooters have, where like you'll have dead zones where you're just kind of waiting for a while in the middle of a wave, nothing's happening, and then one guy pops up out of nowhere and you gotta shoot him, and it's like, wave complete. So that can be a little frustrating. You do get weapon upgrades the whole way through. Pretty much every time you complete a stage you get a new weapon, which a lot of the time was fun. You want to go back in and try out what you unlocked, and the variety of weapons in the game really gives you a chance to customize your loadout. You have 4 different slots, and so I felt like you could really tailor your playstyle to what you felt like doing in a given run through, and that was pretty fun. One issue I had was that the most fun content in the game is actually in the alternate modes, like the challenge modes or the arcade mode, as far as I'm concerned. But all that is locked behind progression through the campaign. So until you've beaten pretty much the whole campaign, you don't have stuff unlocked in arcade, you don't have stuff unlocked in challenges. So once you get through that, I really liked the way they implemented those modes. Like arcade lets you pick any stage you want, and then you can mix and match all kinds of enemies from across the eras. So you've got robots and dinosaurs and everybody coming in all at the same time. I thought that was entertaining. It changed things up a little bit. It introduced some extra variety in the enemies, and you have perks that you can unlock that give you different powers in the arcade mode. And then the challenge mode is really fun as well. Each mission you have a certain loadout that they give you, and a specific set of conditions. So maybe you have no shield, but you have 4 miniguns and there's an infinite wave of robots. Or you only have this gun that fires Cupid arrows, and there's a bunch of guys trying to kill you. Those can be a good twist on the core gameplay that actually make it interesting, instead of just sitting through 10 waves of the same thing. But it's so confounding that all that fun stuff is locked away behind an arcade-style campaign mode that isn't nearly as fun as the arcadey stuff that you get later. I should also say that I really like the reload mechanics and the way that you pick up guns. So you've got these 4 little floating stations, and each one has one of the guns that you've selected, and when you're not using it, it's just constantly reloading ammo. So you use a gun, and then you drop it, and you grab one you haven't been using that's fully recharged. And you have a kind of a cool little dance of, okay, I'm going to drop this one and let it recharge, and then I'm going to grab this one. And I liked that gameplay mechanic a lot. It works really well for me. Overall, I'll say that this definitely had some potential. There are certainly parts of it that I really like in terms of gameplay mechanics and unlock systems, but the core campaign unlock system really didn't sit right with me, and it leads to a lot of grinding and tedium, honestly. My suggestion here is that if this looks interesting to you, wait for a sale. unless you are a physical collector, because there is a physical release of this in Europe. So if you want to pick that up for your collection, go ahead and do it. It's probably not going to get much cheaper than it is now, but if you're buying it digital, go ahead and wait for a sale. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed this review at all, go ahead and hit the like, or leave me a comment, or subscribe if you'd like to. And thanks again, and have a good rest of your day.